Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Oh, Jesus is my portion. No, he's my doctor, isn't he? Runs up. That's what I get for trying to sing a Baptist song. Exactly what I get. Exactly what I get. All right. Such a wonderful day. It's very hot to me, but it's still a wonderful day, the day that the Lord has made, and we should rejoice and be glad in it. I, as promised before, am here in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, and just dropping a few things here and there as it relates to mental health awareness. And I know that, during this season of time, it just so happened that, we've had a couple of suicides and things of that nature. So it has really even heightened the discussion about mental health awareness, which I think, I love you too, Shonda, as we call you, Trina. But I want to also talk about, I think mental health expands much further. In fact, it's not a thought. I understand that mental health expands much further than suicide and some of the other named mental health challenges that we are aware of, i.e. schizophrenia, paranoia, bipolar, all of those, which are true illnesses, but there's some other mental health challenges that need be addressed. And so today I'm going to very swiftly talk about two parts. Perspectives as it relates to prophets and prophecy. So the first thing, and I would have thought with all the you hear prophets everywhere. I'm a prophet, the person's a prophet, this person's a prophet, Number one, let me say this just for free. That just because the Lord has dropped a word in your ear or told you to tell somebody or given you a vision one time does not make you a prophet. I think it's if you have been redeemed, called by the blood, or washed in the blood, and called to discipleship and have accepted it, you have the ability for God to speak to you, and He will tell you to tell people things. He has that right, that ability, and you have the right to work in that ability as well. However, it does not make you a prophet. Just because you saw one time does not mean you are now a seer. Just because you felt something and discerned something does not make you a prophet. So I think we use those terms so very loosely, and people make everybody a prophet, or this person a prophet, because they have one good human intuition, and now they are a prophet because they saw. That's not good. Here's the other part that I really want to talk about today, and that is as prophets, you prophets don't help God. He does not need your assistance. He does not want or care to have your flawed assistance. He's God. He knows how to say just what He wants to say, how He wants to say it. It's very troubling for you to. The Bible says that we see in part and we prophesy in part. You don't have the whole story, so you don't need to make a summation of what God is trying to say. Say exactly what He said and sit your tail down. Hang up the phone. End the prophecy. Do not add. I have truly received words from God, and I'm saying as a recipient, been prophesied to, and I knew that the base of what they're saying is what God said, but the finality of how they put it together, and so God must mean this, and you obviously must have this. No, do what he said, because you're reaching. Do not reach for God. He's already here. He has the answer. He met the woman at the well. Before she got to her need, he was already there. He doesn't need your fickle and your human efforts to do what he has done. He's divine, not you. So if he says that we rebuke the spirit of depression, don't go and help God and make up a story about why I'm depressed and how you just say you do whatever, because you don't know if the depression is actually a link from somewhere else. You don't know. You just believe what you believe because your experience has taught you that most times depression comes because of this. Don't help. I may be the exception, and you'll mess up. And some people are not mature enough to understand that you got part of it right, and then you started adding your human intuition and thoughts behind it. Also, as the recipient, we do a lot of talking to the actual person that's given the prophecy, but we don't really talk about how to receive prophecy. I have, and the Bible says to try the spirit, whether they be of God. It is your job as the recipient. You have a duty not to just accept anything that everyone says. You don't have to take it just because it came from a credible source, as in the prophet has never lied before, has never been wrong before. You're only as good as your last prophecy, if we're going to do it that way. Hey, sis. Hey, Miss Cornette. You're only as good, and what I'm saying is that we all are human, and so we can all get off at any time. So just because I've been known to give spot on, and I can tell you what color socks you had on last night, and that's not impressive to me. What's impressive is that you say exactly what God said, and you have enough discipline to stop when God stops. If he does not even complete the sentence, he means for you not to complete the sentence. While you deliver the message, deliver only what he said. But as a recipient, I have to be able to know that this may be a muddled prophecy, and I need to take what God says. I've actually had someone say that I'm going to be doing I've gotten that a lot of traveling, and I'm spreading the gospel and blah, blah, blah. And I knew and discerned that what God actually showed them, he showed them me traveling. And because I'm in church and because I am a preacher, you decided that the B clause was I'm preaching the gospel around everywhere. Well, I'm also in humanities. I'm also a motivational speaker. So therefore, a lot of the travel that you actually concluded was preaching the gospel, I'm spreading good news, but it's not biblically a preacher going to take texts and sermons. I'm going to uplift people and to do organizational work. But because you decided that you knew the end of what God said, and it's okay. I understand. I get it. But it is my responsibility to discern between when God stopped and when you started. So I want everyone to be able to discern. You have a responsibility. It's not all on the prophet. It's on you, your acceptance. And you might have to eat the fish and spit out the bones, as the old people said. Not throw out the baby with the bathwater. So, I think we had to raise awareness, mental awareness, because if not, you'll start to get disgruntled by people giving you a word or not. And, and protect yourself. I really do say protect yourself. You have the right to ask if someone starts giving you a word to say, no, thank you. You have a right. Exercise your right. Be careful about who you allow to speak over you and into you. That is your responsibility, so that you're not bogged down with whatever was attached to their word, whatever motive that they had. Because I've seen people try and give you a word just so they can see you in the bedroom. It's true. It happens all the time. And then they want to take you out on a date. No, 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 no. Do what God says and go away from me. Do whatever you're going to do. Do it quickly. Even if you're lying, lie quick and get out of here.